What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Lunch with the Clydesdale. We're having someone over for lunch today.
Yay. Hi.
Actually, as I announced yesterday, we are opening up lunch to the crew. They can come on whatever day they want, whenever they feel the need. But I wanted to have Kat on anyway because she has a new show coming out.
Yeah, and Fridays actually just work better for me because I work half days on Fridays, so I'm never going to have a meeting that I have to jump to. And Thursdays have just become, it's almost like every other Thursday I have a work meeting, so I haven't been able to be consistent with our round tables. So get used to Fridays maybe, guys, or whenever else I can jump on. But yeah. Yep, so there's the new AI generated or chat GPT generated logo. It kind of looks like me. We'll see, but play on words there with the catching feelings. I figured we'll start with all this dating nonsense and then, maybe I'll meet someone and I'll become someone's girlfriend again. So then we'll have to talk about other stuff. But I already have ideas for guests coming on, and I have guy friends that want to come on and give their perspective. I have girlfriends that are in the trenches with me that also want to join. So it'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
And when are you looking at launching?
Wednesday night. Most likely are going to be the nights that we do this, probably like 7, 8. I haven't decided on the time yet. And I, like we talked about before we came on air, I'm looking at creating my background and, some taglines and things like that. So a little bit of work to do, but I do have like my first album of photos ready to share from my scrolling experiences. So, and of course, always a story or two to tell. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. Any preview you want to give us before the show? Any big things this week on the dating front?
So I was out of town for the week. I went to Connecticut for work. So there wasn't any sort of active dates happening, obviously. I will tell you, as I was on the train and I was on my phone, I got 1,000 new likes because I moved into a different area. And apparently some of the apps track your location, whether you want them to or not. And so I had very attractive men from Connecticut and upstate New York interested in me, but that was really not what I was looking to do when I was in Connecticut, nor do I want a long distance relationship. So that was kind of a bummer. I actually snoozed some of the apps for that reason, because then I didn't want to have to go through all this clutter when I got back of, people that were great, but, live 4 hours away from me. So
what's that like riding the train? Because I know on the East Coast, way over on the coast, catching the train to big cities is the fastest way to get from Philly to DC to Baltimore.
Yeah.
That is just common. I've never experienced that life.
Yeah. It's just, you park in the parking garage, you walk a half a block, you hop on the train and, shut your eyes and listen to a podcast or two, and then you're at your destination. My ride was about 3.5 hours. Fun fact, I was looking forward to catching up on some YouTube videos that I hadn't seen all week, and got to the train and opened up my iPod case, and it was empty. So I was silent on the train for 3.5 hours. All I could do was play games and scroll the dating apps. So it was boring.
Do you prefer train or plane?
I think for trips like that, the train is great. You don't have to go through security. There aren't long lines. It's usually pretty quiet and you get to where you're going. So yeah, trains for sure, if I can make that work.
So we found out this week my daughter got her job in Montana. She accepted the job yesterday. But there is a train there. The Amtrak goes from Northern Ohio all the way to Great Falls, Montana.
Oh, that's like a sleeping car though, right?
Yeah, it would be a probably 20 hours.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's getting really expensive. It used to be you could get a round trip from where I live to New York or even Connecticut, which is just 2 stops up, for $50-$60 one way. So $150, you're up and back. And yesterday I was trying to rebook an earlier train, and it was $400 one way from Connecticut to, it's almost like they're doing what the airlines do now. It's if you book today, you must be really desperate and we're going to jack the price up. But my train yesterday was actually 5 hours late. And that's the only thing I will say, the downside of train travel is that if there's a problem with the track, there's only one track. So everybody's delayed. I ended up, funny story. I decided I was going to drive home, and I went onto Enterprise website. I saw there was a car for rent. It was $150. I would have been home by, in 3 hours. I got an Uber from the train station to the Enterprise location. I walked in. They said, "We have no cars available." I was like, "But your website, I almost just booked a car. Like, you have to have cars." "Nope, sorry, website's not correct. We don't have any cars." I said, "Oh, okay. Well, is there another car rental place around here?" They're like, "Yeah, Hertz down the road." So I get a second Uber and I go to Hertz. First, I called Hertz because I was like, yeah, you're not tricking me again. And I call them. They give me the VRU runaround to no person, and they direct me to the website. So I go on the website and I try to book a car. They don't allow you to book a one-way car. They only allow you to book a round-trip car on their website. So I had no choice but to go. So I paid another $15 on Uber, got to Hertz. They also have no cars available. So I walked another mile back to the train station because I wasn't taking a third Uber. And my suitcase and my tote bag and my half broken wing, and went to the train station and ended up getting on an earlier train that had just come through. Luckily, I never canceled my ticket because that would have been a nightmare. And ended up getting home like maybe an hour after I was supposed to. But I mean, never a dull moment with me, right? Like,
no,
what the heck?
No. The couple years we traveled together, like, yeah, always something.
Always something. And I went to Target the night before to buy earbuds so that I could listen to something on the train. And I even charged the case the night before because I'm like, everything's going to be ready to go. And when I got on the train, I opened the case and there was like a plastic covering in the inside that prevents the actual buds from charging. So I had to pull that off, wait an hour, finally got them in my ears. They wouldn't stay in my ear. They were the most uncomfortable. I didn't end up using them at all. It was a complete waste of $20. And I had to get another silent train ride home.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that great?
That's what you're going to get on Catching Feelings.
Everybody just wants
to. It's going to start with dating, but it's going to roll into this other stuff. I guarantee you.
Always happens.
The one thing about taking Corey up to Montana that's going to be fun is what I discovered is the route is actually going to Madison, like I'm going to the games. And then I go up to St. Paul, Minneapolis, and then I cut left and go across North Dakota, South Dakota into Montana. On the route, we are 23 miles away from Mount Rushmore.
Oh, no brainer.
So we're gonna dive off and do that because I've never been up that way. And when am I going to get the opportunity again on a drive? Because hopefully visiting her will be plane rides or train rides.
She's Grand Rapids, right? So she's close to an airport.
Great Falls.
Oh, Great Falls. Sorry.
Which does have an airport.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, it's international. Now I'm assuming it's international because it's right on the Canadian border, and they probably do have flights into Canada. But hopefully it's big enough that I'm not gouged for stuff.
I'm not really excited for her.
Don't be like giving me the bummer.
Yeah, right. Just what a cool opportunity for Corey, like in this season of her life, like perfect timing.
Well, and it's going to be just her and I. It's going to be daddy-daughter trip.
Yeah.
Something we get to do together. My mom actually saw it. She went on a trip with my nephew, and she actually said Crazy Horse that they're building now is more epic than Mount Rushmore. But
it's still one of those like bucket list items, right? You kind of have to see it.
And if you're that close,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to.
So it's not like a planned trip. It's just we're going to be in the area, so why not stop?
Yeah. Very cool.
And I'm excited about just getting to spend some time with her and doing that thing. So that'll be fun.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Did you work out today? Are you going to work out today?
Not yet. I've been doing it in the afternoons.
Okay.
So this week, my workout schedule is I either clean for an hour in my garage or I work out for an hour.
And when you say clean, you mean you actually clean with like a rag and a thing, not actual barbell cleans?
Correct.
Because that would be working out.
We are spring cleaning the garage.
Okay.
Corey made a move in this, so we have like some of her stuff in there. We have junk in there that just got tossed in there for the winter. So it is getting everything out, getting everything cleaned so that it becomes like a really cool workout space again. Right now, I just have like a little corner of it. So yeah. So
that's still activity though. You're doing something.
Right. And it's like climbing up into the rafters of the garage. It is moving a lot. I'm probably more tired from that than just doing a Metcon.
Okay. That works.
So that is my deal this week. I have to do an hour of one or the other.
Okay.
Every day.
I think I worked out Monday. I went to PT on Monday night for the first time for my elbow. And when I arrived, she measured my range of motion in my arm. And I'm going to use my good arm to show you. I'm sort of about here and maybe like here, pain-free. She proceeded to lay me down and take my fist and jam it to my shoulder so far that since then, my range of motion is decreased. My pain is, and now I have pain at rest. And she's blaming me because she's like, you shouldn't be lifting. I'm like, I'm not lifting. I'm not using this arm. She's like, yeah, but even like holding a bag or something, you just shouldn't be doing that. And she just basically iced me and sent me on my way. And I was like, you hurt me. And now I feel like I'm back to square one again. So I'm not happy about that. But actually wasn't my story. My story was I dropped into a gym in Connecticut, the CrossFit gym closest to my hotel. It was 3 blocks away, and it was called Catalyst Movement.
Which for people who don't know,
serendipity. The name of my gym was Catalyst Fitness.
Gym and your gym were Catalyst Fitness.
Yeah. So I'm like, I have to go there. So I went, and I had to walk up to the coach to say something. She said hello. She did not tell me her name. She did not ask me if I've ever done CrossFit before. She did not ask me where I was from, why I was dropping in. She didn't ask me if I had any limitations or injuries. And the class started, and we were doing 10-minute, 30 on, 30 off echo bike sprints. And I was doing them one-armed. And clearly you could see that I was not using this arm. It was like in my lap the whole time. She did not come up and say anything to me. She didn't ask me anything. At the end, we had to record our calories. This was like a warm up. And she's like, Kat, how many calories did you get? I told her how many calories I got. And she's like, oh, good, with one arm. That's great. So she clearly knew that I wasn't using my arm. The whole class went by before we even talked about it. And I brought it up. She came to me and I said like, hey, I'm going to do one arm snatches instead of devil's press. And I'm going to do one arm cleans instead of angel's press and then she's like, oh yeah, what, when did you have surgery or something? I was just like, oh my God. It was the weirdest thing ever. I was appalled.
Did you have to sign any documents or?
I had done everything online prior to, like I had bought a drop-in class like the week prior, not knowing what class I was going to go to. And I became a member of their like push press environment, but I couldn't figure out how to book the session because I'm on push press with another gym and it gets all screwed up. But I was like, that's not right, is it?
No. Are you going to leave a sternly written review?
I mean, I really wanted to. Before class started, I posted a picture on my Instagram and I tagged them in it. And about 2 hours after I left, someone reposted it and said, thanks for dropping in. But I don't know who that was. It could have been a social media person. I didn't know if it was the owner. I didn't know if she was the owner or if she was just a coach. Like, no idea. No context, no nothing. It was really bizarre.
And now you're talking about it on a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, she sucked.
That's the worst.
So
like you get some really great gyms when you drop in around the country, and then others like just crap.
This one lady said hello to me too while we were on the bikes, and she was so cute because she saw that I wasn't using my arm and there was running in the workout later on. And she's like, just so you know, if you don't want to run, there's bikes over there. You can go over there. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. I appreciate that. It's very sweet of you. And earlier she had said hello to me and introduced herself to me. And I said, you're the first person that's talked to me today. And she's like, oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm like, not your fault.
Corey says, either way, no bueno.
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
Train to live. I hate dropping into a gym like that. Andrew Sten, you should email the owner just so they are aware that there's some coach development issues.
Yeah, I have to do some digging on their website just to make sure that she's not the owner before I do that.
Lana says, imagine if you were quite new to CrossFit.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done. It was very, very odd. And I've come to find out, guys, that I'm very good at resting my arm and doing all the one arm things. Like I said, I got this boulder shoulder on this one side of my body. Running really hurts my elbow. Like we talked about it, I think last time, but I was running and in the middle of the run, it was only like an 800-meter run. I literally took my shirt and wrapped it up underneath and made it like a sling for my arm. And I was holding it like this. And that's how I was running because it got so sore as I was sort of just trying to like do whatever.
When I hurt my back, that was what hurt the most was running. The jarring of each step just.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. I mean, you wouldn't think your upper body would be affected like that or a joint like your elbow, but it really does.
Jay Bird says,
I got to Karen out on that.
She is the owner. She should know her customer service was not good.
Like the old lady waving her fist. You people. Yeah. Oh, and look how good my incision looks. Can you see?
Yeah.
I just took my steri strips off this morning. It's still very bruised and swollen right here, and it's numb. But
well, that's because you got your fist jammed into your collarbone.
Oh my God. It was so hard. I can go like this is about as far as I can go without it hurting. But I'm supposed to do it with a neutral grip, and like depending on which way my hand is, it hurts more. It's just weird. I'm getting there.
I'll read this, and then speaking of neutral grip, doing things one arm sucks. I'm dealing with a partially torn bicep tendon on my right arm, deciding whether to get surgery or not.
Do it. Do it.
Neutral grip. I don't know if you. So Ariel's going to be on the show this coming Wednesday.
Okay.
Did you know that she has a barbell that her strength coach welded together for her that allows her to grab with a neutral grip to do cleans and stuff like that because she had an elbow issue.
Okay.
And she became a rogue athlete. Mm-hmm. And there was interest from Katie and Bill on the barbell that was made. They have made a prototype and she is testing it out right now.
How cool. I need one of those.
And so I'm going to, of course, that'll be one of the things I talk to her about on Wednesday.
Yeah, I love that.
In one of the posts, she said that it's not quite right to what was handmade for them. Mm-hmm. But I'm curious to know like what was off from it.
Yeah, they'll get it. Did they already make it? It's done.
So this is just the prototype for her to try.
Okay. So she can have some input then and have them make it perfect. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Someone did that.
Yeah, it was really cool seeing them use it, and Dylan was trying it. She was trying it. But it was really cool. And it definitely looks thicker than like the handmade one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably more substantial. Very cool. Neutral grip. That's what I should call my podcast. Neutral grip.
Yeah. That's what we're talking about, Jay Birch. I saw it on her Instagram. And I saw her working with the prototype. And then she's going to be on Wednesday. We're going to talk about what needs to be adjusted in her mind. Because I find that stuff fascinating.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, plus she's like starting her own business, like with this whole CrossFit mom kind of thing in her, the hair clip, Tame the Mane, which she makes all the hair clips herself.
Really?
Yeah. She even laser engraves the clip itself with Tame the Mane. Yeah. It's like her little thing she does for an hour in the evening. It's
you have
just
to
her
do
fun.
other things
She
besides
outsources
fitness.
the t-shirts and stuff like that, but the clips she makes herself.
Very cool. One of the women I work with used to do CrossFit. There was about 70 of us up in Connecticut for this boondoggle, and I had never met most of the people, but she used to work out with Amanda Barnhart at CrossFit at CrossFit Centerville.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like you might know this girl. She's kind of big into CrossFit. She actually, I think, maybe went to the thing. Her name's Amanda Barnhart. I'm like, yeah.
She went to the thing.
I kind of know her, and yes, she went to the thing. Oh, that reminds me. I somehow matched with some guy who like is in Tennessee or goes to Tennessee for work quite a bit. And I was saying like, oh, I really like Cookeville. I've been in Nashville, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, actually Cookeville is where I go to work. And I was like, oh, have you had Ralph's Donuts? And we laughed. And of course he's had Ralph's Donuts and everything else. And he's like, yeah, there was some really popular CrossFit guy from Cookeville, but I can't remember his name. And I was like, we cannot be friends.
Yeah. It's those moments you realize that CrossFit is a niche.
So niche.
Right.
So funny.
It's funny because Fee's been posting memories of the Mayhem Classic, which is where you and I met for the first time ever.
That's where I met Fee.
And it's really bringing back nostalgia. I'm really bummed I'm not going this year.
Yeah,
but like it's just too much with everything going on in my life and in CrossFit and fitness around this time with the WFP and them so I've got to limit my trips to something that's doable.
There's a lot. And we talked about me, I'm sort of tentative for WFP right now too. Even though I have all this freedom now to do whatever I want and go wherever I want, I'm taking advantage of it sort of on a personal level, and it's sort of overwhelming. And now I'm trying to get back into traveling for CrossFit too, and trying to balance all that stuff has been a little bit challenging, but I'll get there. Baby steps.
So the guy that's been doing photos for us, e-captures, he got in, so he's going to be there taking pictures.
Good. Okay.
I found out yesterday Dex got in.
Perfect.
So
all right. So you won't miss me if I'm not there.
Yeah, we're doing well. I don't even know if I can go yet because Julie's supposed to have her second knee surgery that week.
Right. Okay.
I have to find a babysitter for her for that weekend. And when I say like, hopefully one of her family members will come over and spend the weekend with her. But who knows? Because at that point she needs like help up with everything. So it needs to be somebody that can like lift her.
Yeah. I hope that works out for you, because I know that just be cool to go to their,
I want to see the first one.
Yeah,
but
Jody, welcome.
What's
Absolutely.
That?
I just said Judy, welcome.
That's Jody.
Oh, Jody. Sorry.
Everybody always gets them mixed up.
I'm sorry. I'm a stickler for names too, so that's not usually like me.
Jay Birch is asking when the Masters games are. They are actually, I think, the third week in August. It's like in August 18th to the 21st or something like that.
That we're all doing that one, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, there's kind of no excuse.
I mean, we've got to get approved.
Corey. Jody.
Let me see.
August 25th. Corey knows.
Yep, that's it. Probably 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. So I'm guessing check-in is 24th through the 27th.
That's the weekend my dad's getting married in England.
See, maybe not all of us.
No, I'm not going. I'm not doing that. I'm not going there for that.
Why not? That's your dad.
Because my stepmom is 3 years younger than me, and I've already met her once. I'm good. No, they're going to do something here too. They're going to do something in the States. That he's asked me to go, but he's not like making me go or expecting me to go. So it's not a priority, or not an imperative, I should say.
Yeah. Hey, I'm having a barbecue that week. Hopefully they'll let me in to do a behind the scenes again. And I should have a big enough crew to like really get a lot of footage.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I'm not missing that.
So that's my goal, to cover it from like multiple angles.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see if I can get Dex to come in and shoot for us, because that man will talk to anybody, anywhere, and I think he would get some excellent footage.
Yeah, I think you would.
So, because he's out for the year with his wrist injury.
Yeah, I'll buy his plane ticket if I need to.
Talking a little bit about CrossFit, I stumbled across this. I've been watching this podcast since it came back, and I stumbled across this morning. It was released yesterday, like late. I'm going to share this real quick. Mr. Don Faul was on the CrossFit Podcast. The first thing I noticed was he looks healthier than he has on other podcasts recently. He looked really skinny and really pale on other podcasts. He seemed much more relaxed on this one. And I'm wondering if, one, as we've distanced ourselves from the games and what happened there, two, they're selling CrossFit now, and maybe it's giving him some relief a little bit. But he does talk about the sale briefly, not much really about nothing more than was released to the affiliate roundtable that they did.
Mm-hmm.
And then now he's talking about the number, and this is where I had to finish before the show, is they're talking about the numbers being down for the Open this year. And this is what I hate. It's this political speak about, well, yeah, they're down, but I visited Diablo CrossFit and the feeling I got by doing it there and blah, blah, blah. Like it just shows you that the Open is great and the Open is awesome and blah, blah. Then he goes, we knew they were going to be down. We knew after what happened at the games, they'd be down. Why didn't you start with that?
Right.
And that we have put together, the media team has crushed it this year, and they have. I will agree with all of that. The media team has done a better job this year than they've done in years. But it's going to take time for them to earn trust back. And he says all that finally, like well into the conversation. But just so you guys know, it's out there. I think Denise is a friendly face to him because she does work at CrossFit. It's a CrossFit podcast, so it's owned by them. They can kind of control the message a little more. Yeah. So he is much more at ease in this one than like he is on Coffee Pods and Wads or Talking Elite Fitness or whatever other show he goes on. But if you see the red line, that's how far I am. I have that little bit to finish.
Slacker.
I know. Every day, I take 8 to 10 for other sports. Every morning. That's my football, my baseball, my basketball. I catch up on all of that stuff in those 2 hours. Then 10 hits, and then I move to all the CrossFit stuff. But by the time I find some of the stuff, I don't have time to get it done by the noon show.
Yeah. That's okay. I'd like to address this question from Aaron. So are you going to bring home a guy your dad's age? No. I'm barely going to bring home a guy my own age, I think, because some of y'all my age are looking crusty and dusty. So I did have a second date I didn't tell you guys about. I might as well talk about it now. 40-year-old, young guy. Went on a first date with him Friday, went on a second date with him on Sunday. We went on a hike, and then we went and ate. I'm pretty sure I'm his Mrs. Robinson fantasy, and I'm not sure that's what I'm looking for. I feel like I'm going to be a notch in his belt or like a really good story to tell his buddies. So I'm really kind of, yeah. I'm hesitant. I like him, and like we've been chit-chatting like over the course of the week, but it doesn't feel, I don't know, there's something not right about it. So we'll see.
Corey says, another reason you need a CrossFitter, Cat, we stay young.
I know, I'm looking. I may be following now every male CrossFitter that I find on TikTok, just in hopes that maybe one of them like lives close by and is single. Like that's what's happening right now.
Oh, I cannot wait for this new show.
Yeah, Meredith. I mean, I don't know. Like it's one of those things where I don't want to be the pursuer necessarily, and like that doesn't feel good to me. So I don't want it to go too far and then him to just like ghost me, and then I'll be like, damn it, I knew it.
So you say like his Mrs. Robinson. I'm thinking like Stacy's mom.
Yeah, well,
Just
yeah,
update a little bit.
I mean, 12 years is a big, and we talked at dinner about like him wanting kids because I brought it up right away. I was like, so I have a really important question to ask you. Like, do you want kids? And he's like, I thought I did, but here I am 40 and I'm never married. And, I don't know. He says, I think I'd be okay if I didn't have kids, but if I found the right person and like they wanted kids, I think that would be great. And so he was basically like 70 wanting kids, 30 not wanting kids. And I don't want to be the person that makes them give up their 70%. Not that like I'm amazing and that's what he would do, but I don't even want that like vibe, I don't think. So we'll see. But I met a real person in real life in the wild last night. My girlfriend and I went out for drinks after my harrowing travel day. And we bumped the bar that we went to ended up having a law enforcement fundraiser. And I know everyone's like, don't date a cop. Don't law enforcement officers don't make the best boyfriends, and again, this is them, not me. Yeah. And I met someone I actually was talking to a very good friend of mine, a single guy who he's not married, but he has a girlfriend and we grew up together. And he was like, hey, my buddy over here just broke up with his girlfriend like 2 months ago. And he told me tonight that he's ready to like start dating. And I was like, which guy? And he pointed to him and I had already like seen that guy and been like, he's kind of cute, like whatever. So he introduced me to him and we hit it off. He was actually coordinating the event. So he didn't really have a whole lot of time to talk to me, but he was bouncing back and forth the best he could to like show me some attention or show me some interest. And as we were leaving, I just grabbed his phone and I was like, just put my number in your phone and like call me tomorrow. Cause like, we're not going to get to talk tonight. And he did that. And then like, as I was leaving, he like looked at me and he's like, I'm taking you out. I'm like, okay. And when I got home last night at like 11:30 or whatever, at 11:45, I got a text from him saying, hey, Kat, did you get home okay? And it was from a number. I didn't have his number. I just gave him my number. So I was like, is this the guy from the bar last night? ? And I was joking. Like I pretty much knew it was him, but and then he called me on the phone and we talked for like 10 minutes. We were both like exhausted. But it was cool. Yeah.
So. Yeah. You said going into this, you didn't want to do the app thing. You wanted to meet somebody in the wild.
Yes.
So there you go. Maybe this is the trick.
Never know. Stay tuned. All good.
I also heard. Oh gosh.
Yes, that's what guys are supposed to do, Corey. Take initiative. God, it's so sexy when they do that. Like, good Lord. I'm tired of
Corey, you're not supposed to do that. Your wife will frown on that.
Yes, not you, Corey, but guys are so shy these days. Like they're just like afraid to make a move. I don't know if we've just emasculated them to death by our nagging and whatnot, but it's so annoying. So annoying.
Yeah.
I hate being like the aggressor, and I always end up being the aggressor. And I don't mean that in like a weird aggressive way, but like I'm always the one that's like, all right, when are we going out? Okay, like shit or get off the pot, dude. Like let's do this, because I can't text people forever.
Right.
And not meet them. Anyway.
It's funny because like I've not been in the dating game for 30 years.
Yeah.
Right. So there was no texting. There was none of that stuff. Like it had to happen differently back then. So all this stuff that you talk about is so new to me. It's like I'm listening to science fiction.
Yeah. I will tell you, all of my coworkers, there's 11 of us. All of them are married. Or about to be married, and I'm the only single one. And let me tell you, I was holding court with my stories, and they were just eating it up. like all the things I was telling them about. I'm like the funniest person they know at this point, and they're all going to be following the podcast because they know about it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. It should be really cool.
Corey, when I was single, I was never shy. I realize that's hard to believe.
Yeah, this is my surprise face, Corey.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like when I was single, I was bartending and I was a bouncer at a bars.
So
confidence was not a problem for me back then.
Yeah. And you had so many opportunities to meet people, right? My problem is there are only so many bars I can go to and so many meals out that I can do to meet people in person. I don't want to, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's a struggle.
Well, one thing I heard this week that shocked me is I'm sure most of you guys know John Young is on a grid league team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Houston team as grid is expanding outside of Texas, or not outside of Florida anyway. But a member of his team is Lauren Olson, one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, who's been a listener of the show since way back when and has been on the show a couple of times. And she made it to the games on a team a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But he announced on Wednesday night that that Colton Mertens is going to be on their team for 2 matches in June.
Perfect. He is the perfect grid person.
What's brilliant about it from Colton's point of view, right? He is becoming the most popular fitness person in the space. And I say fitness person because he is climbing the CrossFit ranks as most popular athlete in the game. Yeah. And now he's doing all this other stuff to bring in more and more people to his fandom. And they're going to love him in the grid league because he is going to crush certain things.
Right.
Now, it's only like a 2-match thing. He's not doing the whole season because I think it overlaps with like his goals in the CrossFit space. Mm-hmm. Why not stop in and do half a workout where you just have to do squats or pistols or thrusters that he like flies through, or
just snatch ladder, whatever. Yeah.
Which he can, so cool. Why not do a couple of those and expand your fan base, your brand, which makes it even crazier that the WFP did not sign him. I think that is their biggest mistake.
And do we know for a fact that he would have accepted that if he had given it? Like he's open to it?
He is. Okay. Yeah. He has made it known that he has a chip on his shoulder because they did not reach out to him.
Got it. Okay.
And that he is going to take a pro card this year from somebody because they did not offer it to him.
Love it. That kid. We met him at the Mayhem Classic. That's the first time I ever saw him in competition.
Yeah.
And then we were his first podcast. Just saying.
It still like grinds my gears that I did an interview with him at the CrossFit Games, his first year there, and he got cut. And he was willing to come to Vendor Village, sit on a box at the Morning Chalk Up tent with me and have a conversation, and Morning Chalk Up lost that interview.
Newman.
They lost all but my Ellie Turner interview.
Oh, wait. You mean you did it and then you recorded it and it's missing?
Yes.
Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you meant like they missed the opportunity to get him or something.
No.
You actually did the
interview.
You
and I were with them.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And I was doing interviews at the booth.
Yep.
The only one that they aired ever was my Ellie Turner one.
They didn't lose that shit.
And they lost every other one. Yeah. That was my last week with Morning Chalk Up. We left.
Yeah. Do you remember, I was watching Lauren Khalil's show the other day and somebody said you can camp with us at the CrossFit Games. And she said, yeah, I'm never camping at the CrossFit Games again. And I was like,
Yeah.
Wonder why.
We know why.
Memories.
Oh, what a fiasco that was.
How do you lose it?
A photo of young bartender Scott. I don't know if I have a picture of me behind the bar, We didn't have cell phones back then.
True.
But I might have a picture somewhere. I don't know.
Just think of Tom Cruise and Cocktail. Same thing.
And then, no.
Just waiting for someone to catch that.
No, not setting the bar that high.
Same thing.
And is that where you met Julie Scott? It is. But so this is how it works, right? Bars are busy on the weekends. So you only get a couple days work. So I also worked as a short order cook at the same place in their restaurant. And I did that. It was a little diner. And on Thursday nights was all you can eat spaghetti. And I would cook that night. And Julie would come in for the all you can eat spaghetti night. And that's how we met.
I love it. That's
and
amazing.
So I would make her extra garlic bread. But that is how we met.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
How do you lose an interview? So it's called a memory card. The memory card was in the board, and it was all the interview was video and audio. It was recorded to this memory card. Supposedly that that memory card got lost. But how do you have the Ellie Turner one and not the others?
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if they weren't going to publish them, they still could have given them to you or something. I don't know. Because that was when we were we could post our stuff, their stuff, whatever.
Right. We were allowed to cross post. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wanted them. I never got any of them. I didn't even get the Ellie Turner one. And there was a volunteer there that had overcome being an alcoholic, and she did that through CrossFit and volunteering. And It was an awesome interview, and that one was lost too. But those people aren't even at the Morning Chalk Up anymore. So there's really nobody to even be mad at. Exactly the same. Flipping bottles and whatnot. Scott making up poetry while standing on the bar.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's how I picture it.
Yeah. Scratch the poetry, add sing, and you're closer.
Okay.
I did sing to Julie a few times.
Oh.
But that was back when I did those kind of things. Anyway.
I love it.
Anything else on the...
I'm going to Hockessin this weekend to stay with Eliana and JoJo.
Oh,
it's gonna
cool.
be fun. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now that you're in the apartment, you don't have a dog with you every day?
No, this is not an apartment. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but my dog lives in a house with a fenced-in yard and a doggy door, and bringing her to an apartment is kind of a downgrade. So I do it sometimes just for my own selfish reasons, but it's not ideal for her. So Chris is up with his girlfriend this weekend, and she lives 2 hours away. So I'm going to just stay at my old house. Which is a little weird, but it's going to be my house in a couple months. So it's whatever. It is what it is.
How excited are you for that, to have that space again?
I'm not excited for the mortgage payment, but I am very excited to be there. Yes. I wish I could keep the current rate I have right now. That's not going to happen. But as rates go down, I haven't locked in on a rate yet. So I'm waiting. Every day I look and I'm is today the day? Should I do it?
Just the ability to hang with your kids more.
I cannot wait. Yeah, that where I live is going to be their home base. It means the world to me.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. Yeah, I think Corey's actually coming home tonight,
cool.
which will be the first time since Christmas.
Yeah, nice.
She wants to go back to Athens, where she went to college, tomorrow, and talk to her professor boss that was over the fashion magazine, that she got all of her experience, and talk to her about what she's doing in Montana. And so she's going to come up here, drop her dogs off. So I will not be able to breathe for 3 days.
Right. The things we do for our kids.
So she's going to hang overnight. We're going to go to lunch tomorrow, and then she's going to go down and talk with that person, and then come back up and then leave Sunday morning to head back home.
I'm going to scoot to happy hour tonight at this sports bar where I went on the date with the young guy last week, because when I was there, I noticed there was 1,000 guys watching March Madness. So I told my girlfriends, I'm we're going there next Friday. So that's what we're doing tonight, but it'll be an early night because I'm going to go home. I have a little bit of a drive from where that is to where the house is. And then I'll just stay there all weekend.
So you want to go to a bar where men are not paying attention to anything but basketball?
I mean, that's okay. Cause then you can just you can assess things. You have time to look at their hands, see if they're married, see how they behave.
Take
what
notes.
Are they drinking?
Yeah. It's in your journal.
Yeah. I saw some people talking. There were very few women there when I was there last week, but I saw some guys going out on a limb and talking to girls. So we'll see. Again, just another opportunity for out in the wild. And thank you, Judy. That's sweet to say. Yes, I know it sucks, but we're going to get there.
Well, with that, guys, our 45 minutes are up. I got to get back to work.
I don't know.
Must be nice. I'm in a hellish testing cycle right now that I'm leading. Can't wait for it to be over. But hey, get back to work, you knuckleheads. Lunch hour's over. We will see you all next time on Lunch with Clydesdale. Bye, guys.